Very good morning to dear students. Today we are going to discuss something about Viva training in obstetrics and gynecology, which is a planned event by Team Amok Star 2021. So at the outset, let me thank the entire team and congratulate for their wonderful effort. Now coming to the section given to me, it is about the instruments in table Viva. So we are going to quickly go through the instrument. So this is the place where I work. Myself, I'm Dr. Nima Acharya, Professor and Head at the Department of OBGY at the Tamegi Institute of Medical Sciences. Now coming to the salient points to be remembered whenever you are answering Viva regarding the instruments. It is the means to assess your knowledge about a particular surgical procedure. The expected questions could be on surgical steps, the complications related to surgery, and the pathology related to which the instrument is used. Basically, apart from instrument, these questions are also going to be expected. Now, whenever the instrument is given to you, you must identify the instrument. You must describe the type, whether it is a retracting, grasping, dissecting, or dilating instrument. Describe its unique features. Proximal and distal end should be described properly. The uniqueness for the particular step, if at all it is used in a surgery. The material it is made up of, whether it is plastic, steel, or rubber or carbide needs to be told, and then you have to tell about the method of sterilization, whether autoclaving or you're going to put it in 2% glutaraldehyde, like that you must tell. Then indications, pros and cons of the instrument, complications, alternative or any substitute instrument, because at times in emergency situation, a particular number of say instruments are kept on the trolley, but there is an emergency situation, then you must know which other instrument could be used as a substitute. Then obstetric table, gynec table, and family planning table. These are the three tables you are going to rotate mostly in most of the exams, UGPG. So always be conscious and oriented on which particular table Viva you are appearing. So a good student will always tell the obstetric indications of a particular instrument on obstetric table Viva, like that, right? It's not that the examiner is going to fail you, but it's always better for a good student to answer accordingly. So the obstetric instruments which are given to me are sponge holding forceps, episiotomy scissors, encerclage needle, and Don's retractor. I'm not going to go into the theoretical aspect of each and every aspect of instrument, but I'm just going to show you what basic specific things which are expected from that particular instrument. So for a sponge holder, it's a kind of, you know, grasping instrument. So any grasping instrument, as you can see here, it has a proximal end and it has a distal end. So it has proximal end, which has finger bows, ratchets, shanks, box lock, tips, jaws, like that. And the jaws are going to have a specific feature. Now this is a typical sponge holding forceps. As you can see here, it has a proximal end having finger bows, ratchet, shank, lock, and this is the distal end having the serrations and fenestration at the end. These serrations are meant for better grip of the instrument, right? So now, as you can see here, it is mainly used for the cleaning and draping and painting. Basically, cleaning and draping of the surgical area, and a sponge or a gauze is used to clean that. So, right? So, specific name is Rampley swab holder is also the other name for this. So the indications are going to be, it is used for holding sponge or gauze piece for painting the area before operation. It is used for grasping the cervix in obstetrics in cervical os tightening operation. Second trimester MTP in exploring the cervix after delivery. So in each trimester, you can describe where exactly it is used in obstetrics apart from its cleaning and painting use, right? So now, as you can see here, in gravid uterus, like for a non-gravid cervix, you always use a valsalum, but for a gravid uterus or cervix, it is very soft, it is very vascular, it is very fragile. So you use an instrument which doesn't have a sawtooth edge. Like it is better than your valsalum or Ellis forceps. So you use it during pregnancy related procedures on the cervix, right? So post delivery also you can use it for exploring the cervix. You will require two sponge holders for exploring the cervix or for even cervical os tightening surgery. So the whole viva is going to go on cervical os tightening maybe, or postpartum traumatic PPL, cervical tears, like that. The viva can go on that. It can also be used as a hemostatic clamp when there are certain pedicles which are bleeding during hysterectomy, right? So this is the basic uses of sponge holding forceps. It is made up of steel and it is autoclaved. Sterilization is done by autoclaving. Coming to episiotomy scissors, this is a everyday instrument like sponge holder. It is used for episiotomy. The whole viva is going to go on episiotomy. Look at the unique features. These finger bowls are both not like an ordinary scissor. It has on the opposite side. These finger bowls are both directed in one direction. It is an angulated scissors. The direction on one side is meant so that it doesn't obstruct while you're cutting in the perineal area. It has a blunt end, a blunt blade, and it has a sharp blade. So the blunt one goes inside the vaginal side so that it doesn't injure the fetal head. So episiotomy scissors are used to make episiotomy incision. So whole viva is going to go on episiotomy. How it is given, when it is given, what are the sites, what are the types, local anesthesia, how you are going to suture it. So the entire viva is going to go on episiotomy and related questions, right? So episiotomy scissors are angled. An incision is made using episiotomy scissors to the perineum. So the viva can go on anatomy or perineum also, the layers of episiotomy also, how it is sutured, what are the immediate complications for late complications and delayed complications of episiotomy. Do you give episiotomy in all patients? All these questions could be asked to you, right? So episiotomy scissors are unique scissors, angulated scissors. They have a blunt and sharp edge, and the finger bows are on the same side to prevent, it will not obstruct while you are cutting in the perineal area, right? So this was about episiotomy scissors. Again, steel instrument, autoclaved. So this is the episiotomy, and the whole viva can go on the episiotomy. Then how it prevents the injury to the pelvic floor, because you have hastened the second stage of labor. It reduces injury. It reduces that unplanned tear which can extend into rectum or into the anus. So it is always better to have a surgically planned incision in the form of episiotomy. Now this is a cervical encerclage needle originally devised by the great um, surgeon we have, that is Dr. Shirodkar. So these are two separate sided needles, sturdy needles, curved needles, angulated ones, and the Marcelin tape was, it had to be threaded through these eyes. So first the needle was passed through the cervix, meant for cervical os tightening. So it was passed through the cervix, and then the thread was, or the Marcelin tape was threaded to it, and then it was taken out, right? So nowadays we use such needles, but they are wonderful needles, sturdy, thick, so that they could be passed easily through the substance of cervix for cervical os tightening. The whole viva will go on cervical os tightening, right? So what is the difference between Shirodkar's os tightening and McDonald's os tightening? Shirodkar's is anatomically correct because you dissect and reach the internal os, which is incompetent, and McDonald's is easier because you do it at a lower level, and you don't require dissection of vagina for cervical os tightening by this method. Now they are going to ask you specifically, if they ask you, so these are specially designed needles for putting stitch around the cervix, and suture material was Marcelin tape originally when it was used by Dr. Shirodkar, and nowadays we do it with even a non-absorbable suture material, and it is done. So, os tightening, the whole viva will go on. How do you preoperatively prepare? How do you suture? Where is the knot anteriorly, posteriorly? The pros and cons of site of knot. Then post-operatively, what care do you take? When do you remove this os tightening suture? When does what will happen if the patient goes in labor with in situ stitch? So all these complications will be asked to you in the cervical os tightening. Needles, encerclage needle when it is given to you. So how do you time the cerclage? All these things are going to be asked, right? Why do you do it at 16 to 18 weeks and all? Then what is the cervical length? What all findings you will get for incompetent os, funneling, ultrasound features? All these questions could be asked to you, right? So other special needles which are devised by or which were discovered by Shirodkar, were sling needles and cornwall or tuboplasty needles. Now the last instrument is Doyne's retractor. This is a retractor which has a unique shape, which is used in cesarean section to retract the bladder. The bladder is, to reach the lower uterine segment in lower segment cesarean section. To reach the lower uterine segment, you have to open the UV fold of peritoneum and retract the bladder down. It has a unique feature. This instrument has a unique, it's a sturdy instrument. It's a retracting instrument. So it retracts and the bladder. So it has handle, finger bow, shank, and this is the blade where unique design mainly during cesarean section to retract the bladder once bladder is dissected down. The concavity in the center does not hamper the surgeon's, it doesn't come in surgeon's way while he's suturing or she's suturing the lower uterine segment. The broad structure retracts the bladder well, right? And in gynecology, it can be used when you have a large cervical fibroid and the cervix is very broad. So this instrument will be required rather than Deaver's retractor, right? So questions are going to be expected on cesarean section. Questions are going to be expected on bladder injury to prevent, how to suture, what all things you will do if at all inadvertently you open the bladder. All these things are going to be asked to you if a Doyne's retractor is given to you, right? So this was all about all the instruments which were given to me. So the first instrument which was given to me was a sponge holding forceps, which was a grasping instrument. The episiotomy scissors were cutting or dissecting instrument. The needle was a cerclage needle, and the fourth one was a retracting instrument, which was a Doyne's retractor. So all these things are discussed in a very in a mode of revision manner. So I hope you will go and read about it, and the whole viva will go on the specific topic related to that instrument. So once again, I thank team Amox for giving me this opportunity, and I wish you all the best for your future, and best wishes to team Amox for the success of their upcoming conference. Thank you so much.